Hello everybody, I do have some good news about new content for Delta Force Hawk Ops PC Alpha Test. And after that, a bunch of questions that has been asked in a Twitch livestream on the official Ask Shadow Anything livestream on Twitch on August 13. You can find every question listed in the video description, including a clickable timestamp, so you can jump between the questions. Also listed in the description is the link to the past Twitch stream where you can watch it for yourself, the uncut version. Hope it helps you out. Alright, first of all, on the screen, as you can see, all the new content, like there's gonna be a new map coming for the hazard operations mode, which is called Space City, coming out on August 16th. And then there's also a new game mode coming for the Havoc Warfare mode or playlist called King of the Hill. On top of that, since today there is a new operator available called Uluru. And as you can see in the bottom right corner, there are also some new events planned. One of them starting today, Hawk Intel, and the rest of them on August 16. Most likely related to the hazard operations mode. Alright, now we're coming to the questions. So first of all, I tried my best to kind of transcribe what has been said. Sometimes the mic from those that got interviewed was cutting out sometimes, so be aware I might have something wrong there, but yeah, either way, for the most part it should be complete. Alright, first question. Will you be giving out more alpha test keys? They said yes. And a second question, that was like a follow-up question, was how long will the playtest go? And they confirmed that it's right now planned to end in the first week of September. Next question. Where will the servers be located? Currently, the servers are up and running in West Coast of USA, Europe, and Singapore. And for the launch version, they are aiming to add more server locations up to the launch so everybody can have a good and smooth connection. Will you be releasing any new maps? At the second half of the test, they will have a new map, and at the same time, they have more maps in development for launch. Will the graphics remain so close to realistic? They are very happy with how the game looks right now and stay true to its visual identity. What are the devs' stance on pay-to-win mechanics? Quote, very clear, we stay away from pay-to-win, which means no pay-to-win. They will try to keep it as fair as possible, and they will never add stuff to boost your stats. You can expect to see cosmetics in the multiplayer part. The single-player campaign will be premium content only, without any microtransactions. What does the balance of weapons, bullets, and armor look like? That's why they also run this alpha test, because it is important for them to figure out how the general balance is and what they have to adjust to provide a better experience and balance for the players. They are asking additionally for community feedback regarding this topic to fine-tune the balancing, and thanking already so far for the already provided feedback. Quote, keep your feedback coming. For example, through Discord or Reddit. Are you making so many operators just to sell skins? The reason why they have and add operators is to give the players more strategical gameplay freedom and choice of gameplay freedom. Operators can also fulfill different ways of play styles. They are not there to be cosmetic items. If there are certain operators pretty popular, they will consider adding cosmetic items for them. But at the same time, stay true to how the current game looks. And also what they said, there won't be any Nicki Minaj skins or something like that in Delta Force. Will you add proximity voice chat? For the extraction mode hazard operations, they don't want the players to expose their position to nearby enemies. So no proximity voice chat for that extraction mode hazard operations. For Havoc Warfare, it will be implemented in the future. So for the 32 versus 32 playlist. Will there be a hide chat function added to the game? They are looking into it, including the immersive experience of the user interface, including more seconds for it. And quote once again, keep your feedback coming. Will there be a feature to customize guns during a match for Havoc Warfare? It will be implemented in the future. That's what they can confirm so far about that question. What are your anti-cheat plans? First and foremost, they hate cheaters that spoil the fun. They are aiming to move more and more processes of the game to the server end or to the server side instead of local side, like local end. That way it will be easier for them to recognize cheating behavior, which will result in a much faster and accurate response. They will also detect hardware cheating behavior. They really try to block any possible cheating in any aspect of their game. Their team is deployed around the globe, and they will keep an eye out for new and upcoming cheating behaviors. And at the same time, also community feedback is really important to them. So please report people that you think are cheating. For example, on their website or through the in-game options. Will there be jets added to the game? Shadow also wants the jets himself, so they are making the jets right now. So expect jets in the future update. Will you be adjusting the number of bots in lobbies moving forward? They decided to add bots for Havoc Warfare to keep the queue time low for the player. It's still the alpha stage and they are still growing their player base. The amount of bots will be reduced the more people are playing the game. So potentially no bots at prime times, play times after launch of the final game. But yeah, keep in mind it's an ongoing process. Will there ever be private rooms to play with friends or just practice against bots? They say it's a great feature and request. They will add it in a future update, first coming for Havoc Warfare. So for the 32 versus 32 playlist. And then now to Pistilli questions. Who is Timi Studios? Shadow is the game director of Delta Force for the past 2 years. They are trying to bring the game to all platforms, and Team Jade is part of Timi Studios group. If Shadow is not creating Delta Force or playing and streaming Delta Force, he's watching the Team Lakers of NBA. So he's like a big Lakers fan. Can you tell us a bit about Delta Force and how you got to where you are today? Shadow used to play the original Delta Force game, which was very popular in China back then in local internet cafes or cafes. He was amazed how the game delivered those huge maps and very authentic, believable gunplay and sound design from the game. And each Delta Force game had its own unique campaign, which is a great narrative and gaming experience, which are all the pillars they are trying to bring into their own game, called Delta Force Hawk-Ups. What is your broad vision of Delta Force? A broad vision, okay. Delta Force Hawk Ops comes with 3 parts of the game so far. First of all, the reboot of the classic Delta Force Black Hawk Down game. They hope that the campaign will serve as an invitation for people to try out their multiplayer mode. For Hazard Operations, they are trying to add more maps, operators, weapons and items in the future. I didn't understand the next thing about the Hazard Operations, but it was something about them dropping Battle Pass content drops for like EVE or PvE and co-op experience to Hazard Operations. For Havoc Warfare, there will also be more new maps and new gameplay modes and more experience for the players. Cecily asked a follow-up question. Are you actually doing a co-op for the PvE mode Hazard Operations? The answer was it's going to be part of Hazard Operations. There are also hints in the UI where you see a lot of unavailable maps and buttons. One of them is what they call Manticore mode, in which you will be able to kidnap with your friends and you will enter maps with your loadout and you get challenged with different setups and configurations of enemies. In fact, much more enemies and more challenging enemies than what you are threatened by other real players. And that's going to be a little bit of teasing of what has to come in Delta Force Hawk Ops. In addition, Shadow added that it leans to the first Delta Force games, the 2 first Delta Force games, just with modern gaming technology and the addition of co-op. What can you tell us about the monetization structure? It will be primarily premium battle pass for the future. And they will also provide cosmetic items and bundles as such in their game. When does the alpha test end and are more keys coming? Their current goal is to end the test sometime in the first week of September. And they will keep giving invites and key drops while the test is ongoing. Shadow specifically said that he is going to push his team to find more ways to provide keys to the players, so as many people can try the game out. Stay tuned in their Discord and up to date, of course, in their Discord, Twitter, or Reddit. Because they usually keep posting their key giveaways in Discord, Twitter, and so on. Will there be controller support in the future or more options for keybinds, and what about aim assist? They will add controller support in a future update, quote, which may be sooner than you think. And quote, and they will allow players to further optimize their key bindings in the game. Castelli added a follow-up question about aim assist. They said, yes, controller will have aim assist support. Can you explain the campaign and what it will look like after launch? There are 4 pillars of piles for the campaign. The first is reviving classics. They want to recreate the plot from the Black Hawk Down movie. They also want to recreate some of the most iconic classic missions from the original Black Hawk Down game. And second, they want to provide the campaign as an experience that you can play solo or together with your friends. And thirdly, they want the campaign to be more believable, more real. So this is not a mode where you can just spawn and go crazy, guns blazing and buildings exploding. Instead, it's gonna be, quote, super hardcore and difficult and a little bit punishing, quote end. And lastly, they want the campaign to be a visual masterpiece, thanks to their good relations with Epic Games, where they are building this campaign mode with Unreal Engine 5. Quote, deliver a game that looks good and also runs well on your PC and console. Quote end. What's your end vision for Havoc Warfare and what will it look like after launch? Obviously, they will add more modes and maps to Havoc Warfare. For future maps, each of them will emphasize on different gameplay aspects. Like some maps might be emphasizing more on close quarter combat, some might encourage more on trench warfare. That's one thing. Another one is they want to make this mode more immersive and believable by aiming at their environmental destruction and sound design. Basically that you can also really hear the bullets flying around you. And lastly, they really want to make sure that it feels like a Delta Force game. Stay true to the franchise and its identity. Will there be solo and duo queues added? It might come to the game as a timed event, basically a limited timed event. That's what they said. Will there be adjustments to time to kill? This is something they will be monitoring closely based on player feedback and data by tweaking how weapons, ammos, and you as a player work in their game. Quote, keep playing and sending feedback to us to know how to build the game that is most fun and strategically challenging and rewarding for the players. Quote end. How in-depth will the blacksite go, or is there an end vision for it? That's actually really exciting. The blacksite will change its looks in the future based on your build and upgraded different facilities. Some of your loot might be also going towards how your own identity and gameplay style is. Also expect more facilities and upgrades in the future, and they will also add a shooting range and more functions for it to try out different builds. Vasily asked about having a dog in a blacksite, and they responded, quote, depending on how serious your request is, then if you want maybe a crocodile, and then Vasily wants a kangaroo, and yeah, they said time will tell, but they will let him know. Okay, crafting times are huge. Is this intended for testing, or are you anticipating any changes? That's a question too for the hazard, like the last one and this one for the hazard operations mode. They want people to keep sharing their feedback, and they will definitely cut down the crafting times. They will also allow players to manufacture even more items in the future in their own blacksite, so you can feel comfortable at your own blacksite. The eyes of the POV are currently a bit high for the head position. Do you anticipate changing this? Shroud mentioned it, that you can shoot above objects. Because you can see the enemy, but they can't see and hit you. So basically the question is if they can adjust the position of the camera to avoid this. They rarely heard something about that from their community so far, but they will take a look internally with tests and want more people to give their feedback on this topic. What else can you tell us about what to expect post-release? Short answer would be everything you already see in the game will get bigger and better and more diverse, but into a more detailed context. New operators, new maps, more gameplay content for Hazard Operations and Havoc Warfare. In addition to that, they mentioned in one of the previous Delta Force interviews that they were already working on content ideas for Season 4 because they are aiming to support Delta Force in years to come. And they have to share that they almost finished up production for their third season and are already working on ideas for Season 5. Maybe, like I think maybe he meant almost finish work on Season 4, because like in that previous interview they were saying that they are working on ideas for Season 4 and yeah, that now since he mentioned Season 5, so either way, it might be like for sure there are 3 seasons basically finished. It might already be a 4th season almost finished, but either way, a good amount of post-launch and content will be available. So yeah, they said they have big plans for after the release. After that, Go Shadowmaster or Grandmaster Go JJ came back with some more questions from the community in the Twitch chat on which way is the best way to provide feedback. They said Discord, because you could get all the feed info there and have different channels to get in touch with the community. Is the map Space City coming to Hazard Operations for this alpha test? Yes, it is confirmed with that Twitter post that it's coming on August 16. They say the new map is more challenging for new players and they will keep monitoring feedback. Are they going to provide roadmaps for not only the alpha test but the post-launch content? That's a question for their team, and Shadow said they are working on it. What are the future plans for the console players in particular? They already have a console build of the game up and running in their office and it's playable. And yes, they are working on making the game available on console, also because it is financially better for them and also increase the overall player numbers. Since it's their first console version of a game, they want to make sure they're trying to work with very good partners across the world to provide the best console experience possible and polish the overall console experience, including aim assist. They also want to clarify, if you play on PC with mouse and keyboard, that there will be no aim assist. But they would love to provide some emotional assistance, if that helps, but no aim assist. Furthermore, they are analyzing how other games are treating the crossplay topic and be very careful with that. So basically they analyze other games that have crossplay and how the player feedback for those games are regarding this topic, and then decide how they want to implement it in their game. So the question probably is, PC and console crossplay forced, or no crossplay between PC and console, or PC and console crossplay optional, so console players can play on PC but PC players not on console, like it is in Apex Legends, for example. Mouse and keyboard support on console was not mentioned in any way, so I guess it is a developing topic that they take serious. They said their end goal is to provide a fair and fun experience on whatever platform and input device you are using. Is there going to be a server wipe after this test? Like a player progression wipe? Yes, everybody will start fresh on official launch version of the game. Closing words from Shadow. Shadow said at the end he's very thankful for all the feedback, ideas, and love so far that he and his team is received, and they are pumped and looking forward to the years to come with Delta Force. And once again encourages to keep the feedback coming, because they want to grow with they want to make this game, as they said earlier, for years to come. Alright, that's it for now. You can see they had a Reddit Q&A as well, like a follow-up on the same day on August 13. But yeah, that's it for now. You can ask additional questions in their Reddit or Discord. They also give away 1,000 alpha keys every day in their Discord, so worth joining their Discord, their official Delta Force Discord. So yeah, enjoy your time in the alpha or the anticipation for the release version. Stay tuned and have a nice day.